Ride to Haridwar, a journey through history, geography, and local lore. Man, this ride to Haridwar is something else. Started from Jaipur this morning, and it's like watching the landscape transform right before my eyes. The flat plains are giving way to the foothills of the Himalayas. No wonder they call this place the gateway to the Dev Bhumi Uttarakhand. Haridwar sitting at an elevation of about 314 meters above sea level. Pretty cool how you can feel the change in altitude. The road's winding more now. Gotta lean into these curves. It's pretty cool how Haridwar sits right where the Ganges exits the mountains. Read somewhere, it's at the exact point where the river touches the plains. No wonder it's such a big deal. Population here is around 250,000, but it swells up to millions during festivals. Haki Pori. Heard a wild story about it. Apparently some locals swear they've seen it drink milk offered during prayers. Sounds crazy, but in a place like this, who knows? It's wild how Haridwar is like this natural border between the Ganges plains and the Shivalik range of the Himalayas. No wonder it's been important for so long. Ganges. It's crazy to think this same river flows all the way to the Bay of Bengal, but here it's like the start of its big journey across India. The Ganges is about 2,525 kilometers long, and Haridwar marks the spot where it enters the Indo-Gangetic plains. King Vikramaditya built Haki Pori back in the 1st century. That's ancient, man. Oh man, just remembered a story about this place. They say if you come here at midnight during a new moon, you might see the ghosts of ancient sages performing rituals. Spooky stuff. Water here is cold. Didn't expect that. Must be all that snow melt from up in the mountains. People really believe this washes away sins? Pretty cool idea, actually. Overheard someone saying there's a spot in the river that never freezes, even in the coldest winters. They call it Brahmakund, supposedly heated by a divine power. You know, it's pretty wild how this place is a major pilgrimage site, but it's also a big education hub. Saw signs for a bunch of universities and research centers on the way in. Old meets new, I guess. There's even a government Ayurvedic college here, one of the oldest in India, established back in 1877. Locals were talking about Mansa Devi Temple situated on the hill. Guys at the hostel were telling me about a secret tunnel that supposedly connects it to the Chandi Devi Temple across the river. Ancient escape route or something. Wonder if anyone's ever tried to find it. That tour guide was saying something about King Aditya Vardhan ruling from here in the 7th century. Imagine being king of all this, controlling the gateway to the mountains and this major river. Must have been a pretty sweet gig. Passed by Kushavarta Ghat earlier. Supposedly, some ancient king named Daksha held a big sacrifice here. Ended badly with his daughter Sati sacrificing herself. Heavy stuff. This place is like a history book come to life. Oh man, almost forgot about the Bhimgoda tank. There's this crazy legend that the Pandava brother Bhima created it with a blow from his knee during their exile. Looking at the size of that tank, must have been one hell of a knee. It's actually a man-made tank, built in 1840, but the legend makes it way cooler. I'm getting tired. Might need to find a chai spot and figure out certain things. I have also heard stories about Rishikesh. The views of Ganges Valley from up there are insane. Plus, there's this story about a hidden cave where Beatles wrote some of their songs. Gotta check that out. It's like I've ridden right into the spot where geography, history, and spirituality all collide. And man, the stories people tell around here, it's like every rock and river has its own legend. Did you know Haridwar is mentioned in ancient Hindu texts like the Mahabharata? This place has been a big deal for thousands of years. Pretty epic way to end a day's ride.